in the parking lot. How we doing? Um, I was going to give this a Doctor Who news title, but I'm like, other than the fact that I finally seen the German trailer over the weekend, there's not much to talk about. If you can find it, it's on YouTube. People have re-uploaded the German trailer for series 2 of the newest incarnation of Doctor Who, which I really wish they hadn't done that, but they did it for Disney because people who are tuning into Disney don't know that this show has been on since 2005, and that incarnation is yet another extension of the previous incarnation, which ran from 63 to 1989. I keep thinking 66 because Star Trek was 66 to 69, and that always throws me off. And so that's about it. Like I said, there's a lot more. You do see the Doctor and Belinda, like I said, all spoiler alerts, blah, 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 get turned into cartoons, and that worries me. But at the same time, Supernatural did an episode where they crossed over with Scooby-Doo, and it was an animated episode, and it turned out to be pretty good. So I'm not going to go, oh my God, look at this woke nonsense. The other day, it was yesterday, I was at work, and I started thinking of days, before social media. And I was thinking of a movie that popped into my head. It was a Dudley Moore movie, and I believe it was called Mickey and Maude, where he's hooked up with these two ladies. He loves both of them. And then they wind up having all these kids together and blah, blah, this. And even though after they found out, they continued on this relationship. And the two women are professionals. Meanwhile, he loves staying at home with the kids. And the first thing that popped into my head, thanks to these imbeciles that exist today, was, oh my God, this is such a woke production. Notice how they've they demasculated or whatever the man, turning him into something nothing more than a child bringer, raising the children and all that while they work. This is third wave feminism. Crap like that just popped into my head. I'm like, what are we living in? What age is this? The age of reason died, I think, when, social media began to, really thrive, I think. But, well, Lady Gaga's been losing touch with reality for a long time. My God, talk about, a late diagnosis, literally closing the door after the horses have already stormed out of the barn and are halfway to Kentucky for the Derby. I'm sorry, it's just, you got to be a little crazy, I think, to get into any industry these days, especially being a celebrity. Come on, I could have told you she was nuts when she wore the meat dress. The meat dress to an award ceremony. All right? I didn't know part 2 was up. Have they actually gotten around to making part 2, for The Last of Us? And putting it on the air? Yeah, I like listening to both versions of the song Land of Confusion, because I do like both of them. I like the original by Genesis, and I also like Disturbed's take on it. You always know it's a bot when the first thing you go, what is your location? Yeah, Lady Gaga, yeah, she's... Well, unless you're talking about the game. Okay, I guess, yeah, maybe you're talking about the game. Because I know the Last of Us 1 and 2, the game's been out for a while. We're still waiting on part 2 of the series. It's been how many years? Yeah, I was just listening to Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence before I came on today, because that kind of mellows me out. Especially with everything going on in the world today. But one of the things I've also noticed, either YouTube's algorithm is pretty smart, or YouTube's algorithm is a smartass, as far as commercials go. All right, one of the things I've been doing, because I've listened to every audiobook I have 50 times over, is I've been playing, podcasts on YouTube, which drains more of the battery on the phone, but hey, we've got outlets nearby. I just usually leave the phone to charge, and I put that on, listen to it on the earbuds. And I don't know how many times yesterday, but I kept getting that ad by Temu. Shop like a billionaire, right? And then, not in the same video, not even a couple of minutes later, here's some tips on getting rid of your credit card debt. Well, maybe you have credit card debt because you were shopping like a billionaire on Temu. Maybe if you didn't shop online so much, you wouldn't have credit card debt. Shop like a billionaire. I'm like, people, no, you're not shopping like a billionaire. You're not going to go buy Lockheed or something off of frickin' Temu for a steal. All right? Musk and all these guys buy entire companies. Look at how much he bought Twitter for. Just because he wanted to get rid of the censorship thing or whatever. I think it was like, 44 billion or something. It was way out there number. And well, the thing is this. They're waiting for approval for Series 2. All right? And if they're waiting to the end, or they're getting rid of Doctor Who Unleashed, that's one of the things I think you're talking about. Until I see it from the BBC, you can take all the signs you want. Until we get an official announcement on the show being shelved, which doesn't matter if Disney takes it or not. Yeah, because that illusion they're popping into your head is if you come to Temu, you can just blow all the money you want and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you can't. Credit cards are a trap. It's, look, it's money that I don't have in my pocket, and I'll be paying how many % interest on, but look, I can buy this now. And trust me, I've fallen into that trap plenty of times. But sooner or later, to check the path and watch out for that trap. It's like a bear trap, except it grabs onto your wallet instead of your leg. Oh. Yeah, so wait, Shooty removed Doctor Who from his Instagram. Okay, that does not bode well. Why would Shooty remove Doctor Who from his Instagram? That's not good signs. That means, you ever, get itchy in places? I've been using this jock itch powder for the last couple of days, and it's the best thing I've ever bought. No, that's another thing I can't stand on YouTube channels. And then they play then they'll time it so that YouTube plays their ad right after their placed ad. Oh, that drives me insane. Like, I love listening to Joe Rogan, but it's literally an ad every couple minutes for YouTube, and then of course he's got to pitch whatever he's pitching, and I'm like, dude, aren't you making enough money just off YouTube alone without having to get placed sponsor ads? It's like, I know, it's weird, some of the town names we have out there. Yeah, there is a Truth or Consequences town. Oh, where was that? Arizona? Or was that Mexico? I can't remember, but there is an actual town named that. Where do you live? Truth or Consequences? Is that an ultimatum? No, that's where I live. Imagine having to put that on your return address for when you were mailing back in the day. Truth or Consequences. At least it's still shorter than the names of most Welsh towns I've seen. Oh my goodness. Well, I like the subject matter Joe Rogan covers. That's why. He goes into topics that a lot of people won't touch, and he makes it, semi entertaining, whereas there's a lot of these shows out there that will put me to sleep. It's like, and as like I said, I love listening to stuff like Graham Hancock in it, Randall Carson, because these guys are out there asking questions and they're finding proof that archaeologists are full of baloney. They're not always full of baloney, but the problem is, guys, we got this big fat chunk of evidence. Like, let me give you an example. There was, in America, we used to have mammoths, mastodons. I think there was even an American, I can't remember if it was a camel or something. There was a whole bunch of animals. And then we had the megafauna die off during I think it was the Younger Dryas. Get ready for this. Now, originally they were saying men did not set foot in North America, and when they did, they came from the Bering Strait land bridge. And when they did, they made all the big animals extinct. They hunted them all to extinction. There weren't enough people in North America to hunt entire, can't remember how many species to extinction. Talk about the most lame-ass, easy excuse to use. And then they found out, by the way, that the Clovis civilization of 13 was not the first one, because originally it was like so many thousand years. Then it went back to 13,000. Now they found a cave where mastodon bones have been systematically broken open for the marrow by tools, which means that's humans. And if that's true, that means there could have been humans in the North American continent 130,000 years ago, according to the dating. Plus, remember, everybody was supposed to have come from Alaska, filtered down, and then they ended up in South America. And then now they found out there's a lot of South American tribes that have gene sequences that match directly with, like, others, Aborigines and stuff like that, which means they didn't come from North America, which means somebody was traveling the ocean way longer before they said, it's possible. Shit like that really intrigues me. You see, they make assumptions. There's nobody who can tell you exactly everything that happened on this planet past a certain point, because we don't have a written record past a certain point, and there's big chunks of our history we don't have evidence to cover what happened at that point. They just sit there, throw a dart at a board, and say, okay, that happened. Yet when you do find proof, such as physical landmarks and all that, no, that couldn't have happened. Because according to the textbooks we all wrote how many years ago, hell, there's, ugh. But like I said, nobody knows exactly what's been going on this planet for the last 4.5 billion years it's been here. I know I'm getting a laugh out of the chat because we're just going all over the place. Well, according to the Weekly World News, Roger says there's a Batman in Turkey. I'm like, yeah, well, according to the Weekly World News, Batchild lives here in America. Also, a lot of people are saying there's this one fox bat, I think it's called, or is it a fruit bat? And it's like, this thing's tremendous. If you ever see them, I'm not kidding, they are huge. It's kind of like you don't want to see spiders again after you see the huntsman spider from Australia. Imagine that hanging in your shower one morning. Ugh. It's like, nope, I guess I won't be taking a shower today. Somebody get their gun. I'm like, oh no, I mentioned guns. We're not allowed to mention that on YouTube anymore. Evil words. The algorithm will definitely take its wrath upon me. But I'm going to try to be on Legend of the Traveling TARDIS later today. Like I said, it's just when I get home, I eat dinner, and then I sack out, literally. I just because I'm so tired at the end of a 9-hour shipment. I'm going to set my alarm and all that because, well, we're doing a tribute, of course, to Simon Fisher Becker today. And I really want to be there because, Simon was so kind to us and, very, very nice fellow who's left us. Well, folks, I have got to get going. We've just hit the 15-minute mark, so I'm going to run inside the building here and get this day done and over with. So please take care of yourselves. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Reminder, we will not be here this Saturday, okay? So there's going to be no bonus episode this week. But the next 2 Saturdays after that are scheduled. All right? So take care out there. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.